The playoffs are here, and you can predict the action all the way to the finals with FanDuel Predicts. Predict the spread, the total points, and even the game-winning moments that make the playoffs. Sign up and get a $25 bonus with FanDuel Predicts.
Offered by FanDuel Prediction Markets, LLC, a registered futures commission merchant. 18-plus bonus is non-withdrawable and expires 7 days after receipt. Trading derivatives involves significant risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Manage your activity with their consumer protection tools. Restrictions apply. See terms at FanDuel.com/predicts/bonus-offer-terms.
In the squadron, they called him Bullets, but we call him Greg Kelly. Greg Kelly is on the air
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
All right, we're back. Awaiting Trump response to Iran ceasefire proposal. I can wait. Will it be Monday? Let's say we seize concessions not through dialogue, but with missiles. In negotiations, we merely understand them. We have no trust in guarantees or words. Only actions are the measure. The winner of any agreement is the one who is better prepared for war from the day after. Yikes. Sounds like a Chinese fortune cookie. This is one of the foreign ministers there in Iran. Real tough guy. Real tough guy. All right, it's Friday. Friday phones, 800-848-9222, 800-848-9222. Anybody can call. All suspensions and bans are temporarily lifted. That goes for even that, who's that creep out there in New Jersey we don't like? Mario or what the hell was his name? The guy who was always calling with some nasty aside. Right? Hey, what do you say about Trump when he was with that woman? Shut up. No, this time you get to say whatever the hell you want. I mean, I'll still tell you probably to shut up, but the ban is temporarily lifted on this glorious Friday. Hey, the other cool thing about talking to that guy, he noticed I lost weight. People are starting to notice, Carlos. They're starting to notice. Hey, did you lose weight? Why, yes, I did. 20 pounds. 20 pounds, 228 to 208, baby, in 7 weeks. Not bad. I would say that's not bad. Not bad at all. And you figure I definitely cheated a lot. All right. I had a handful of Kit Kats here and there. Pardon me. I had ice cream. But here's the thing. If I did that, I wouldn't eat anything else and I'd be fine. I'd be able to make it. You know, I'm just not that. You're just not that hungry, and you don't think about food all that often. I love to see my Marine brethren flying the F-35 off of LHA carriers in the Persian Gulf. There's something a little bit off about that F-35 airplane. You know, the Harrier jet, the last Harrier from VMA 223, which is next door to my old squadron in Cherry Point, North Carolina. In a couple of days, it will be the last flight ever of an AV-8B Harrier. It'll come in for a hover landing for the very last time. And, I flew that airplane for, how long did I fly it? I was in the Marine Corps active duty for 9 years, but by the time I got to the Harrier, 1995 to 2000, 5 years. 5 years of flying that beast. And it was a bit of a beast, but I loved it. I loved it. Very interesting experience. And now they have the F-35. The F-35 is a very capable airplane, but it has no personality. There's something a little bit, right? It's a little bit, it looks like a prototype. It looks like it was fashioned out of balsa wood. There's something kind of funky about that airplane. It just needs some, I don't know what it needs. It needs more antennas. It needs little something. Something is missing on that plane. I know what's his name? Elon Musk is frustrated that it's not missing a pilot. He thinks it's one of the biggest strategic and tactical mistakes of the past 25 years that the next generation of aircraft have pilots in them. Well, I'll tell you this, Elon. I love you and I love what you do. But I saw some people I care deeply about the other day in a Tesla relying on the self-driving, and I love self-driving. I can't wait till I have a self-driving car and I can sit in the back seat and do whatever the hell I want back there while I get driven around by computers. Computers, satellites, cameras, whatever the hell it takes, I don't care. As long as it works, and I think we're very close. But the other day, I saw a self-driving car go down the wrong way on a one-way street with people I care about deeply inside. Deeply. And I just like, Oh, man, I thought, here I am defending you guys all the time, talking it up all the time, and you make the wrong turn on a, one-way street? Are you crazy? Are you crazy over there? Are they crazy up there? Hello, Ed in Asbury Park, New Jersey. How can we help?
Oh, hi, Greg. You're the GOAT, my friend. I got to tell you, a couple weeks ago, you had your interviewing your 4-year-old, and she's singing the Octopus song. I'm telling you, I was driving. I got emotional, man. I love your show, man. I never miss a show. You're the best.
Well,
man. Just want to enjoy your weekend.
Hey, man, you're very kind. And you know what? Those girls are a hit on the radio, aren't they? I'm going to have them more often. Thank you so much. Very kind of you, Ed. They are just such wonderful gems, my daughters. They really are. And even when they act up, and they act up a lot, but guess what? My wife is now authorized to wake me up in the morning, because I like to sleep in. Sometimes I miss breakfast. Sleep in. I get home at 11:30 at night, for crying out loud. And then I got to unwind. And then I have a little bit of alone time. I'll be up until 1 a.m, on the computer, whatever, just, vegetating a little bit. I should vegetate, maybe watch. Well, I don't watch any TV shows, but I do watch weirdo documentaries and YouTube videos. And I love asking AI all kinds of questions. So this is my downtime. So sometimes I sleep late. Now the kids start acting up at 5, 6 in the morning, and my wife is now waking me up, and I get up right away to fix whatever situation is unfolding. I'm going to get daddy. And they're like, no, don't, because I am now the tough guy. All right. I got to straighten them out. And it's a little bit unfortunate, but it's okay. I'm not complaining, but I'm not home at night. I got the videos to make, and they take a lot of time, and it keeps me away from home. So that's why the weekends are so very, very important. Carol, how are you? Welcome. 800-848-9222. 800-848-9222.
Hi, Greg. Can you hear me?
I can. Hi.
Good. I think the messaging needs to be clear from Republicans in terms of if they vote, if anyone votes, okay, legally, of course, they should know if they're voting for a Democrat, any Democrat, they're voting for socialism. And I don't think most of the country wants this to turn into a totally socialist country. But the messaging is not clear enough from the Republicans. It's very simple. If you vote Democrat, no matter who you're voting for socialism. So vote Republican to save America. Do you agree or not? Or what do you think?
Yeah, I do. I mean, here's the thing. It sounds good. I mean, then you go around and you talk to people. What is socialism? A lot of people don't know. A lot of people can't define it. So I don't know if that message is. I guess why I'm sighing a little bit, Carol, is everybody, and I'm not faulting you, but everybody thinks that they have the right message. Everybody talks about messaging. It's just, when I was a kid, actually not when I was a kid, in my 20s, I started hearing about messaging. If only George W. Bush could get his message out, he'd be much more popular. I just, sometimes there's so much focus on messaging, there's not enough focus on like doing something that you can message. Does that make sense? It's all about it's all about like branding. You hear about branding all the time. I got to work on my brand. My understanding about a brand is that thing that they used to put on the cattle, right? They sear it into the side of the cattle, right? So you could tell where the cattle came from or what ranch it belonged to. Maybe they didn't that way. Somehow you put your name on something. And everybody's consumed about what the brand looks like. They don't look at what it is they're building that will need a brand. You know what I mean? They skip to the marketing before they focus on what the hell they're marketing. But I'm not saying you're wrong, but that's why I'm a little bit prejudiced against this hand-wringing about messaging. And that's on me, not you. But it's a long-standing thing that I've been, got a bit of an attitude about. Everything else good, Carol?
Yes, we're doing fine here. We're hanging in there in New York.
I love it. You keep it up. Thank you. Oh, what's interesting? I used to not like Greg Jarrett. Anybody know that guy from Fox News? I worked with him at Fox News. I didn't like him. And quite frankly, he didn't like me. You get those guys at work, and there's just this, you can tell, Now I think he's great. Now I think he's absolutely great. A truth teller. He's brave. He's smart. I think he found his mojo. A little of it was me, but it was him too. He was a different person. Hell, I was a different person. I don't work with him anymore, but I like him. Now listen to this about the whole, the tapes were obtained by consent in a criminal investigation. There is no Fourth Amendment privacy involved. Now, what they're talking about is getting the tapes of Joe Biden in front of Robert Hur. Remember when Joe got caught with all that classified stuff? And there was an investigation, and no kidding, he kept classified stuff against the law. And they said, well, he's a kindly gentleman and no one would convict him, but he did do it. Well, we want those tapes. And oh, by the way, Robert Hur has gotten a bum rap. That report was a work of genius and decency and fairness. And it was tough on Joe Biden, but a lot of people have misread it. I said years ago that there is an audio tape that exists of Joe Biden engaging in criminal activity. The source who gave me that information, I trusted him, and I still trust him, and I went public with it. I said, someone has told me, who I trust very, very much, that there is an audio tape in existence of Joe Biden committing criminal acts. And I don't know when this is going to come out, but it will change everything. And I was right. The audio tape is the audio tape of Joe Biden discussing classified material with his ghostwriter. And he says it out loud. He says, we're about to engage in criminal activity, so be careful. Anyway, here's Greg Jarrett breaking it all down. GK, cut 5. Go.
Yeah, I don't think Biden is going to win. He's suing to keep his self-incriminating tape recordings hidden from the American people who have a right to know, to listen to them, to determine whether he was lying over and over again when he insisted, I never shared top secret classified information with anyone. Well, in point of fact, he did. And those conversations with his ghostwriter, in which he's sharing top secret information, it's on the tapes. And that's confirmed by the special counsel, Robert Hur, who listened to the tapes. And the public is entitled to hear them for themselves. Biden's claim that, these tapes are personal and private, that's utterly absurd. It's not what the law says, because the tapes were obtained lawfully by consent in a criminal investigation, which means that Biden does not have a Fourth Amendment privacy interest in them. The tapes are in the public and prosecutorial domain, and that strips away any privacy protections by law. Not only that, Biden was sharing the classified contents of documents that are owned not by him, but owned by the government. Yet he kept telling the special counsel, these are my documents. No, they're not. He stole them. And the government eventually seized them and took them back. So you don't get to hide behind privacy rights when you steal government records. It's as simple as
that. Greg Jarrett, well done. There's no Fourth Amendment concern here. We're going to see that. Oh, actually, is it the video? Anyway, it's very, very good. I love it. We're going to get all this stuff sooner rather than later. Be right back.
Greg Kelly.
Let's go, Brandon.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Greg Kelly.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
It's the Greg Kelly Show on a Friday. Am I hallucinating here? Kathy Hochul, the bucktooth bimbo from Buffalo, is telling people, we already have speed limits here. We already have this stuff. Now the New York State is going to go around actually putting a machine in your car and it will tell some computer how fast you're driving, and if you're driving too fast, it's going to make the car slow down. Are you serious? All right, let me hear it unfiltered if you don't mind, all right? The buck-toothed bimbo from Buffalo, Kathy Hochul.
This is another area where I'm surprised at the controversy around it when it makes so much sense. You think about someone, I'm going to ask these gentlemen here, if someone gets 16 speeding tickets in a year, would you consider that an excess speeder? Yeah, that's not normal, right, guys? They're just looking for an accident. They're looking to end up in this repair shop. So what we said, we have to protect people. There's pedestrians, there's moms pushing strollers, there's people on bikes, there's kids going to school. We have to protect people. And if someone is so flagrantly violating the laws that there's a callous disregard of human life, is the only way I can describe it, there have to be consequences. Have to be. So now we have technology that says there's a device that can be installed in a vehicle that would limit how fast you can go. And I think that's what happens. There's plenty of notification. You can appeal if you want to question one of the tickets in the prod. There's due process. We'll make sure. But installing this, and if you don't install it, after 45 days, you lose your registration. You should not be on the roads if you don't care about whether or not you're going to kill somebody. And when you hug a mom, lots of moms, as I've had to do over the last few months, who've lost children, that pain never goes away. But they at least have some comfort in their hearts that maybe they can prevent the next family from having to grieve the way they did because of someone's reckless indifference to life.
No, I'm not buying this at all. Soon it will be 10 violations, then 3, then 1. My friend Ken Turley here. The devices will be installed on every car registered in the state pretty soon. After that, they can limit your driving for any offense that might make you less trustworthy. AI catches you littering, jaywalking, complaining about the government on the internet, liking a video critical of the school district, whatever they want. They can put a device on your apartment doors that can keep you locked in during COVID lockdowns. There's no end to this is tyranny, baby. And you can see she's hiding behind moms and all that crap. She's hiding behind school kids. Don't believe it. This is sinister. This is ugly. This is evil. This is an unbelievable power grab. You're not allowed to do this stuff. You're the buck-toothed bimbo from Buffalo. You're not the viceroy. You're not. You know what we need to do is change the name of that job, governor. It's too grand. If we made it like executive administrator, how about executive assistant to the people? That's like a glorified secretary. You know what? You get a lot fewer people signing up for the job. And you get rid of all the people who are there for ego. All right. The buck-toothed bimbo from Buffalo has gone way too far. Hey, Cuomo, thanks again, right? Thanks again. You wanted a nobody. You got her, and now look.
Greg Kelly
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Greg Kelly, entertaining and informative
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
We are back. 800-848-9222. 800-848-9222. I'm having a hard time keeping Hassan Piker straight with Kilmar Obrego, right? All of these crazy radical lunatics, leftists, illegal, whatever, they're all kind of blending together now. I got to do a better job keeping them straight, okay? Now, Hassan Piker, now he's the guy who was in Maryland, right? Is he the Maryland man? No. This guy's a content maker and an outright anti-Semite terrorist supporter and very close to Mamdani and actually is making a lot of money. For a communist, he makes a lot of money. Kilmar Obrego, shoot. That is the Miller. No, is that the guy from Columbia University who hates America yet demands to stay in this country? And leftist judge after leftist judge keeps taking his side. Is that it? All these crazy radicals. We didn't used to have these. We had a couple. We had Malcolm X. We had Joanne Chesimard. We had Charles Manson, and that was pretty much it. And then everything went backwards and upside down and crazy. It is really, really intense. But I'm feeling great. I am feeling great. This is an enormous moment for truth tellers. And I see the fake news. People have moved beyond the fake news. The only thing that's going to hold us back is a lack of enthusiasm. Pessimism. If pessimism starts to take hold, it's truly one of those moments. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself, right? It's fascinating about that. FDR, for all of his crazy socialist tendencies and ignoring the Holocaust, and oh gosh, he did a lot of bad things. He was a leader. He was a leader in many ways, flawed, but he was a leader. I think about Joe Biden telling ghost stories about America all the time, wanting us to believe the worst about ourselves. Brian, yes, hello. How are you?
Calling in, long-time listener, first-time caller. I just wanted to talk about Delaney Hall, and I see what's going on there. My daughter's joining DHS, not ICE, but DHS, and I'm a little concerned. I see the signs, printing, the people there are much coordinated, and I just don't know how this is going to go into the summer. And I just see them turning the volume up on this until there's a reaction. That's bad. And where it's going to take us, I'm not sure.
Don't worry about it. I think that's what they want. They want a reaction. They want to revisit the glory. Uh-oh, I just hung up on everybody. Did I do that? Shoot. Okay, my phone line went down. There's everybody. Okay, good. So what was I just saying? They are trying to recapture for them the glory days of Minneapolis, right? Renee Good and Alexander Preddy and all those guys, right? Remember that they were celebrating that, actually. Secretly, they were celebrating that. They had something to point to. And they're trying to rekindle all of that stuff. Don't let them be successful. I know you're probably concerned about your daughter. If you look closely at the ICE guys, they're not being provoked. They're not allowing themselves. They're not falling into any traps. This isn't the Border Patrol, out of their domain. These are professionals. And I wouldn't worry about it, man. You sound worried, all right? Just it's only happening at this one. And if it happens at more, just remember, it's artificial. They're trying to provoke it. We can't let it take hold. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It absolutely makes sense. But it looks artificial, and I don't even know why it's, But I'm listening to the news and the way they're reporting it as it being some type of organic thing, and Governor Mikey Sherrill talking about ICE as they're a force from outside of the government that are controlling these individuals that
yeah, she's really getting on my nerves. You know what I mean? She ran kind of portraying she's a tough as nails soccer mom. You know what I mean? With the experience to work for New Jersey families. And here she is standing literally with that woke mob against our beautiful and professional and humane ICE officers. So that Mikey Sherrill better get her act together fast. The best way to be president, she desperately wants to be president, is to do a good job by the people. This is going to end. This madness is going to end. This fad, people are going to wake up from. And they'll be looking around. Who did what? Who did what and when? And she could be a leader now for history, or she can just follow the mob right now. And right now she's just following the mob. Whatever happened to the leaders? Thanks, pal. Good luck to your daughter. Who's this? Upstate Edison? Is that his name? Is your name Edison?
Yes. Why? What's wrong with that?
It's an unusual name. It's like for a town or a company. I never heard of an Edison.
Okay.
Did they call you? I'm not. No, I mean, I'm not criticizing, but did they call you Ed or Eddie?
Yeah.
But you introduce yourself as Edison.
Yes, because that's more formal, I guess.
I know. It sounds a little, I don't know. I mean, are you from royalty or something? Edison.
No, not quite royalty. The regular stuff.
What's up?
Either way, no. My question basically was, or maybe more my comment was, everybody's complaining about the high gas prices and everything is going to be bad for the midterms. I wasn't sure. I was thinking that it happens to be the opposite makes a lot of sense. For example, meaning if the gas prices end up going down in a month or two, now Trump could take a major victory lap and say, look at this. I got the gas prices 50% lower. And that'll be an excellent campaign for him. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so you mean the bigger the problem is now, if it gets solved, it actually makes the victory even sweeter, right?
Weird. It's weird because he made the problem, and he rightfully made the problem. But even though he made the problem, being that there is a problem and he solved it, he could still take a victory for that.
You know what? The logic sounds a little bit goofy, but it holds. I think you're right. You're onto something. Just remember, though, gas prices were higher under Joe Biden 4 years ago. At the same time, at this juncture in the midterm, and you know what they were talking about back then? January 6th. It's so unbelievably dishonest. All we got to worry about is turnout. All you got to worry about is turnout. It's all fake. Everything else is fake. I appreciate it there, Edison. Good afternoon. That is an impressive name. Very impressive, very impressive. Okay. Viviana is standing by. The beautiful Viviana. Yes, ma'am.
Well, my brother, I am so excited about you putting out all of this truth and making sure that people understand it so that they will vote the right way in the primaries and the election. I called because I am so excited that people are waking up. You heard about the Jewish protest at Mandami's mansion. First, they had the protest of his supporters saying, "You lied to us." Now they have the Jewish people that are saying, "Wow, Mandami must go." Greg, I found out something today, and as a Christian, you would really care a lot about, and I'm praying you find out more information. There's a Christian evangelist named Ben Schittler that in Washington Square Park, he got a beat down just because he was preaching about Jesus. Manhattan, Washington Square Park. I am praying that the Christians will be as loud as the Jewish followers, because if we don't take care of them, now they're going after the Christians.
Now, let me ask you something. What's his name? Schittler? Is that what you said?
Schettler. Schittler. Ben is the first name.
All right, let me ask you something.
He's an evangelist.
All right, let me ask you something, though. Was he one of these guys who went into a big throng of Muslims or Gaza people, preaching the gospel? Did he just go in there? Was he being provocative a little bit? Be honest.
He went into Washington Square Park.
Well, I know, which is crazy town. And was there anything, organized that he interrupted or got in the middle of? And look, I understand you got to spread the gospel everywhere. But some of these guys do it for effect. And they do it like, oh, my God, look at me. I'm being persecuted. I don't know if I was having an event, if I was at Yankee Stadium and Joel Osteen and all of a sudden some Muslim guy came in and started, talking about Allah. I'd be like, get the hell out of here. I'm busy. Know what I mean? I'm wondering if is there a little bit of that going on here?
I'm not sure, but there's a big difference, Greg. You can dislike what he's saying, and I don't believe he's provocative, but there's no reason to beat him down.
Well, you can't beat down anybody. Do you know he was beat down? Was he beat about the face and breast, chest, neck, and head? How bad was it?
Very injured. He was very injured, Greg. I'm looking more about the situation.
All right. Keep me posted. I just, I wonder, though. I wonder. Sometimes you go looking for trouble. And then, oh, my gosh, you find it and you complain. But I'll take a look at it, okay? I appreciate it, Viviana. Thank you. Oops, I'm out of time. I shall return.
Greg Kelly.
Let's go, Brandon.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Greg Kelly, entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Hey, did she, is that a baby? Oh, I hear a baby coming.
What are you doing, honey?
I'm putting on mommy's shoes.
She's wearing mommy's shoes. Hear him?
Where you're going with the jackets?
I want to show you something for you, please.
Oh, you're going to work.
I'm going to work. Not right now, though. What do you want to do today?
You're coming now. You're going to work now. Because
All over.
Oh, boy. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? Sometimes she wears mommy's shoes. Sometimes she wears daddy's shoes. You know what I learned? Whenever she's crying or upset, which does happen when you're 4, you know what I do? All I got to do is pick her up and let her touch the ceiling. It works most of the time. Not always. Sometimes, I don't touch the ceiling. But usually she could be miserable, and I'll just pick her up, and she'll touch the ceiling. Sometimes she'll still be miserable, but I know that when she touches the ceiling and she's miserable, it's going to be turned around very, very soon. All right. One of the wonderful, beautiful challenges of raising children. 2 daughters, huh? Who'da thunk it? Who'da thunk it? But it happened to the thrill of me, my wife, and of course their grandparents, Raymond and Veronica. The doctor and Ava on the other side, the wife's side. I call him doctor. I don't call him dad. I don't call him by his first name. I'm not going to do that, doctor. I even don't feel right calling my mother-in-law by her first name. I usually just kind of, how are you? Oh, hi. I don't want to call her by her first name. Isn't that like a little? It just doesn't seem. I don't know. It doesn't seem normal. Doesn't seem usual. All right, we're wrapping up. It's a Friday. I have a lot of cool videos in store. The E. Jean Carroll thing does intrigue me very, very much, whether they're investigating her or not. And they might be investigating the judge. They might be investigating, where the hell that jury actually came from. You don't think they just kind of allowed normal people to be on the jury? I mean, anything can happen there. They can vote for, they can be reasonable and vote against the government. You think the jury was, not CIA employees, the ones that convicted them over that Stormy Daniels crap? No, I think they were CIA, definitely government contractors. Yes, Lou, what is it?
Greg, don't know if you're aware of it. Hope this makes your weekend a little happier. The first moon landing, 1969, Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong.
Mm-hmm. And Mike Collins. Don't forget Mike Collins up in the command module. Nobody gives him enough respect. Keep going.
That landed. The 2 that landed on the moon.
Yeah, I know. But he was there, too.
They were both Christian ministers in the Presbyterian Church. And and you're Christian, so I know you'll know what I'm talking about. And they both administered the communion to each other and thanked the Lord for landing. If you Google it, the whole story will come up.
Yeah, well, I know a little bit about this story, and my understanding is, and I don't know if it's true, to be honest. I don't know if it's true. I mean, I'm sure there's something on the Google. In the miniseries From the Earth to the Moon, they portrayed Buzz Aldrin as performing a mass, a mini mass right there. And he asked Neil's permission, and Neil was kind of, you could tell in the movie, he was a little bit annoyed by it, but he said, go ahead. Go ahead, I'll wait. But I haven't heard much about that, to be honest. I did hear once, I've met Buzz Aldrin a bunch of times. I never asked him about this. But I believe that their workload was tremendous after they got to the moon. I mean, they had a million things to do to just shut that thing down. Remember, they're like, hold on, Houston. When they finally declared the Eagle is, I know they shook hands. How do you know that? Other than the Google, how do we know that? What is the Google site? Are you sure about this, Lou?
Absolutely. Just Google it. Ask for first moon landing.
Yeah, I know if you Google it, but I mean, I'm curious once you Google it. I mean, there's something to the effect of this, but I'm curious about the source that Google is using. Not everything you Google, but I will look into it. I appreciate it. I know I've seen that depicted, but I haven't seen it too many other places. Thank you, sir. Dan, you want to explain something to us? Hello?
Hey, Greg. So you asked about this a few minutes ago. Mahmoud Khalil is the guy from Colombia, and they're trying to deport him. He's in the process right now.
Is he the Maryland? Is he the Maryland man?
No. I'm going to say that in a second. That's Kilmar Abrego Garcia. He was the wife beater from Maryland, who's an MS-13, and he was deported, but they brought him back.
Mm-hmm.
And then Hassan Piker is like an online personality, and he's most notorious for saying America deserved 9/11.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't taking notes. I still haven't gotten it straight in my head. They're all maniacs, and none of them belong here, especially that Hassan Piker guy. I saw him. He also said, it's a shame that America won the Cold War. Did you see him say that? He said it at
I heard something
he
about
was he was there when Mamdani won. That's what he said. It's a shame that America won the Cold War. He was rooting for the Russians. Can you believe that? Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Let's see here. There's Mitch standing by. Yeah, Mitch. Hi.
Hi, Greg. Thanks for taking my call. I just wanted to tell you that a driver who continually violates the law by speeding, his license can be taken away, or he can be put in jail. We don't need the governor to insert a device in our car to prevent us from speeding.
Concur. And, oh, by the way, what if somebody else wants to drive that car? You know, there are multiple drivers. She should stay the hell out of it. Government really can't do anything all that good, all that well, you know? So you got to limit what it does. Take care of the parks, take care of the roads, you know. It's bad enough that we give you a lot of discretion when it comes to the schools. Stay the hell out of our automobiles. I think that's a great point. We already have mechanisms for this. We don't need another device, for crying out loud. Thank you, sir, very much. Mike, yeah, hi, how are you?
Hello, Greg, thank you. How are they ever going to resolve the mess in Iran when they're not even talking about inspections?
How do you know they're not talking about inspections? How do you know that?
You think we'd hear it on the news, wouldn't you?
You know what? I don't know what we're going to hear on the news. The news is fake. You know, these guys are sitting at tables. They're not coming out and telling everything that happens in these meetings. I have no idea. And maybe, you know, it's possible the nuclear material is now so limited. Don't forget the strikes from last summer. That we know where the nuclear dust is. Like, we know where it is. So maybe the inspection, maybe we don't have to inspect. Maybe that circle of death thing that Lindsey Graham was talking about. Maybe we just put it under surveillance. Maybe we can surveil from space with a satellite. There are just so many variables. And that's why I don't get too passionate about some of this stuff, because I know that there's 1.5 million things about this stuff that I do not know, and neither do you. And I just have to delegate. I have to defer. So, you know, we'll see. I appreciate it, though, pal. Yes, Greg. Is this Greg for real? Who's this? Hello, are you there? Hi. Quit. Yeah, something was up with that one. I knew it going in. I knew it. Robert, hello.
Hi, Greg. We spoke. I told you some of my plight.
Oh my God! Yeah, geez. Oh boy. Yeah, I know. Geez, it sounds like you're still down in the dumps.
Oh well, I'm just still going through it.
I know, but geez, it's Friday. Let's find something to be happy about.
Oh, by the way, I'm in agree with you on everything you talk about, but I mean, I'm just saying. Yeah.
All right. I know you got extensive problems in the family, and I'm so sorry you're going through it. Let me think it over a little bit more, all right? You stay in touch with me. Call a little bit earlier in the show. Phew.
Thanks for listening to The Greg Kelly Show. You can hear The Greg Kelly Show weekdays at 12:15 on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?